Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Liam Douglas here, and in today's video I'm doing a unbox and review of the new PlatyPod grip. Now this is brought to you from Dr. Larry, owner, inventor, and CEO of PlatyPod. And this is his latest invention. Now, if you're familiar at all with the PlatyPod family of products, you probably already know that originally PlatyPod was selling a mobile phone mount that was made by a company called Square Jellyfish. And it was a nice mobile phone mount that was made of all metal construction, or mostly metal construction. But Square Jellyfish has discontinued that product, and they've instead switched to making their new phone mounts out of plastic, like a lot of the other companies out there are doing. And Dr. Larry decided he wanted to do something better, so he sat down and designed this new PlatyPod grip. And this is the latest creation from his mind, and this is the PlatyPod grip. So it comes in the packaging in this setup right here as two separate pieces put together, and you just separate the phone clamp from the main PlatyPod grip. And then what you do is you just take it, and it's got the center thread hole on the bottom here, the 3/8, and then it's got 1/4-20s on each side of that. And you just thread it onto the top part here, just like so. And you have it set just like that. And then you loosen up this thumb knob right here, and you can flip it over because it does have a notch at the top here on the one side, so you can flip it over just like so. And then of course you can flip this back to lock the entire thing back down nice and tight. Now if you look here, you'll see that the phone mount is nice and deep, so this will accommodate a fairly thick phone case. So I do have a bit of a phone case on my iPhone 14 Pro Max that I'm going to use to demonstrate this. And it's spring operated, so you just separate the two sets of fingers, and there you go. And you can use this in either vertical, whoops, I popped it out there, sorry about that. You can use it in either vertical, or you could go ahead and use it in a horizontal fashion, either one. So you can do both types of orientation. You can have vertical for your Instagram stories or TikTok or anything like that. And you can have horizontal for landscape photography or anything else that you might want to do as far as that goes. Now, another thing that's really nice about the PlatyPod grip is the fact that on each end, it actually has a cold shoe. So with the cold shoe here, I could go ahead and put a light in. So let me just go ahead and add one of my Ulanzi LED lights here and lock it down tight there. There we go. And now we got the light mounted. And then with one of the 1/4-20s on either side of the 3/8, I could go ahead and add on a gooseneck arm. So let me go ahead and thread that in there. So we could put in a gooseneck arm, and then we could bend this up and around, and we could have a microphone. So you could, so you could have an entire rig there, all self-contained for your mobile phone. So if you're a mobile phone content creator, you could have everything all on your PlatyPod grip. Now the other nice thing is the base of this is actually ArcaSwiss compatible. So you can just put it into your ArcaSwiss tripod head. Whoops, I think I've got that turned the wrong way. There we go. You can just slide it right in there, and then go ahead and tighten down, and bam. Now you've got the whole thing mounted in your ArcaSwiss ball head. I'm using the PlatyBall Ergo here. So you've got that convenience as well, making it super handy to use this entire setup. And you can also, of course, you could take the entire rig and, let me turn it right here. And of course, You can attach the base of this, also has the 3/8 and 2/4 20s. You can also go ahead and attach it to your PlatyPod, flat tripod, or any other tripod or monopod that you want to use. You don't necessarily have to use a PlatyPod flat tripod, but you could. So there you go, you've got that. And let me go ahead and loosen this back up for a second here. And I'm going to go ahead, let me take all these components back off here, because there's something else really cool about this that I want to go ahead and show to you today. Let me go ahead and take the gooseneck arm back off here. We'll go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and loosen up my light so I can take that back off. And let me go ahead and, whoops, let me tighten this back up for just a second so I can spin the foam clamp back off here. Come on. Whoop. Come on now. I've got myself stuck here. Bear with me just a second. Let me make sure I tighten it down enough so I can get the phone mount off there. There we go. Got to make sure I get it locked down enough so I can actually spin this without spinning the whole thing. Guess that helps. All right, so now the other thing about this is the PlatyPod grip is capable of 5-pound total weight capacity. And so what I'm going to do here is let me pop it off the PlatyPod base right here for just a second. And I'm going to go ahead and take my second Fujifilm X-T4. And I've got the Viltrox 33mm f1.4 lens on here. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to reattach it to my PlatyPod Extreme flat tripod. Let me get them lined up here. If I can get my fingers to work, that'll be good. Come on. Work with me, fingers. Work with me. There we go. All right, so then we spin them right on there. And once you got everything, let me get my cord untangled here. All right, so once you got everything locked down, look at that. It's actually capable of holding an X-T4 with a lens on it. And you can go a little bit heavier than an X-T4. If you saw Dr. Larry's appearance on Scott Kelby's The Grid this past week, he actually did this demonstration using a Nikon, I think it was a D800 DSLR and lens, and the PlatyPod grip was able to hold the weight of that camera and lens combo without any problem whatsoever. So it is a very rugged, although tiny piece of kit. It is extremely strong and can easily handle the weight of my camera and lens combination. So no worries there. It can still do the job. It is very durable, made of all machined aluminum. Even the adjustment, the tension knob on the side here is aluminum as well. So all aluminum construction, just like all of PlatyPod's other wonderful products. I was really excited when Dr. Larry told me about this new product. I thought it was definitely going to be a home run. I do have a lot of other mobile phone mounts that I had bought over the years or had sent to me to try out, and most of them were plastic, and some of them were okay, but I've never been a big fan of plastic mounts for expensive gear, just because plastic can be broken. I had an issue a number of years back with one of my GoPros where I had it mounted on the handlebars of my motorcycle using the original GoPro handlebar mount, which was plastic, of course, and halfway to work on I-20 in Georgia, one of the plastic fingers cracked. And luckily it wasn't enough for the whole mount to fail and me to lose my GoPro going down the interstate, thank God. And after that, I started buying nothing but aluminum mounts for my GoPros and all my action cameras. But that's one of the things I absolutely love about PlatyPod is Dr. Larry makes all of his products out of quality machined aluminum, all aluminum, all aluminum, all aluminum. So wonderful products. And even the clamp is all aluminum. The only exception being the rubber padding that's on the inside so it doesn't mark up your phone. And it gives the clamp an extra grip to hold your phone tightly and securely. Now, I did want to let you know this is a prototype version of the PlatyPod grip, and they are making a couple of tweaks to the production version. Now, if you head on over to platypod.com and place your order now, if you're one of the first 1,000 to get your order in now, you will receive the finished version around the second week of December, and after the first 1,000, the next batch will be shipping around the first of the year. So there will be no extreme wait or anything like that. Dr. Larry didn't do a Kickstarter campaign for this product. He figured he'd just go ahead and manufacture them himself and launch the product to the market. So there's much less wait time for this particular product, and you can get your hands on it much sooner. So that is the PlatyPod grip. I think it's an absolutely fantastic product. I absolutely love this, and this, of course, will always be in my kit along with all my other PlatyPod gear. I actually have one good-sized Pelican case that's all just my PlatyPod gear. It has my Ergo and Elite ball heads. It has all of my PlatyPod flat tripods, my gooseneck arms, my clamps, and now my grip, as well as my 2 PlatyPod handles. And bam, I've got everything I need to go out in the field and stay fairly lightweight and compact as far as the gear goes. You know, I can throw the whole Pelican case in the back of my car, and then when I get to where I'm going, I can just pop the lid open, grab the 2 or 3 or 4 PlatyPod items I need, put them all together real quick, and then just carry a light little bundle in the field with me in one hand and the camera in the other with its lens, and I'm good to go. So I'm truly excited and happy about this new product. I think you will be too, and I highly recommend you check it out. Like I said, you can find it over at platypod.com. You'll find the link down in the description of this video down below. And I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on all notifications, and get your entry in down below in the comments for your chance to win the ShiftCam Pro battery grip for your smartphone. All right, I will see you next time.